In this video, I'm going to break down the 3 different series homes in Crescent Cove. Myrtle Beach new construction is blowing up, and I want you equipped knowing which series is the right series for you. I'm also going to discuss which buyer profile I think fits each series. So we're going to talk about the top 3 differences in each series, and then if you stay tuned until the end, I'm going to break down the top builder incentives in Myrtle Beach new construction. Now hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into the video now. If you're thinking about buying a new construction home in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, this video could completely change where and how you buy. Purchasing new construction is all about the deal, and having a solid buyer's broker could be the difference in you building wealth with many of your fellow Americans or making a decision that costs you thousands from day one. Because not all new communities are the same. Builder incentives vary, financing options differ, some neighborhoods hold value better than others, and the amenities that actually matter to everyday homeowners can change from one community to the next. In this series, we're taking you inside new construction communities across Myrtle Beach and the Grand Strand, from coastal neighborhoods to fast-growing inland areas, so you can see how they really compare before you make a decision. We'll break down builder incentives, lot purchase and resale strategy, new construction versus resale comparables, and work through your floor plan resale potential. Not only will you see the out-of-pocket expenses to purchase the property, but you'll also get a full breakdown of your first year annual home expenses. We'll take a tour of the on-site amenities, and I'll show you local points of interest that will impact your daily life, like schools, shopping, golf, restaurants, grocery stores, medical, and even highway infrastructure. But we're not just talking about this from a desk. You'll hear directly from on-site sales agents inside each community as I interview them as your buyer's broker, paired with on-location video so you can actually see the homes, feel the neighborhood, and understand the pace and personality of each area. We'll compare communities side by side in each area so that you can see how this community stacks up against the rest of the market, and decide if you can get a better deal elsewhere or if the premium you're paying is really worth the cost. Remember, the biggest wealth builder many Americans have is their primary home. And I'll help you size up this deal to ensure that you'll be able to resell this new construction home, keeping hard-earned money for you and your loved ones. Whether you're a first-time buyer, VA and FHA buyer, growing family, upsizer, newlywed couple, second home buyer, investor looking for a stable new construction rental property, or a retiree, I'll help you find the best community that meets not only your needs, but also positions you for long-term value and resale. By the end of this video, you won't just know what's being built, you'll understand why some communities stand out, which ones fit your budget and lifestyle, and where buyers are getting the most value today so that they can make the most at resale. So whether you're relocating, upgrading, downsizing, buying your first home, or planning for the future here in Myrtle Beach, this series will give you the clarity and confidence to make a smart move. All right, that first series is the Cambridge series in Crescent Cove. Now, the value proposition here is that this is the most affordable way into Crescent Cove while still getting the core Pulte quality. It's energy efficient, and it has a warranty package. There are the top 3 differences, and in my opinion, I always like bringing things down to what's the most important information I need to know about the deal I'm in, the product I'm looking at, the home, the investment, whatever it is. So here's your top 3 differences in the Cambridge series. Number 1, it's the lowest entry price. So it's designed for buyers prioritizing affordability and monthly payment. If dollars and cents matters a lot to you, Cambridge is where it's at. Now, Number two, the most basic included finishes. Shaw LVP in the main living areas, laminate countertops and baths, standard builder grade selections. And then finally, three, it's best for maximizing value. It's less money tied up in upgrades and square footage. Now, the best buyer type, in my opinion, for the Cambridge series is going to be first-time move-up buyers, budget-conscious or retirees, or buyers wanting the lowest payment. It's just that simple, guys. That's how you put the Cambridge series in a wrap. Those are my big three takeaways. Now, moving right along, let's move to the Sutton series. The value proposition here is that it's the sweet spot between affordability and luxury. It offers a noticeable upgrade difference without a dramatic jump in price. Now, again, the top three differences that I'm most interested in is one, it's got granite everywhere. You know, you got 3cm granite kitchen countertops, you got granite bath vanities. Number two, it's got higher end interior package, more upgraded cabinetry, better overall finish level than the Cambridge. And it's got a better resale appeal. Remember, the more ooh and ah, the more emotional feeling that people feel, buyers feel when they walk into a home, especially in, you know, those areas like the kitchen, like the bathroom, the oohs and the ahs, that's going to drive up resale price. And you should be looking at doing those kinds of upgrades and having those kinds of finishes in your home if you're interested in resale value. And for many Americans, it is their home, their primary home is their number one wealth builder across their life. So you should be thinking about dollars and cents when you go to buy a new construction home, how you buy that home, the lot that it sits on, the finishes that are included. All of this is very, very important for when you go to sell it 5 to 10 years up the road. And who knows, you could be like some of these, this other buyer I heard of over at D.R. Horton. He bought a D.R. Horton home and within 2 years sold it, had over $150,000 appreciation he was able to make on that, and turned around and bought a nicer, newer home. So it's definitely a smart move as far as paying attention to resale value when you purchase. All right, so number two, it's got a higher end interior package, more upgraded cabinetry, better overall finish level than Cambridge. It's got, number three, better resale appeal. Granite and upgraded finishes tend to photograph and show better during resale. Now, in my opinion, the best buyer for this is going to be relocation buyers. Most relocation buyers, this might work out well for. Retirees wanting nicer finishes, or buyers planning to stay between 5 and 15 years. So now, that wraps up your Sutton series. Finally, you have the Prescott series. The Prescott series, the value proposition here is it's the luxury package in Crescent Cove, designed for buyers who want the highest finish level and most upgraded standard features. The top three differences, the big takeaways. Number one, it's got the most premium finish package. You've got elevated cabinetry package. You got more upgraded bath finishes, more premium overall fill. Again, we use the word fill because that's what's happening when buyers walk into that home and they're considering resale. You should be considering resale and the buyer pool and the effect that your home is going to have on them when you're making that purchase. Number two, more included electrical features, LED surface mounted lighting package, additional convenience features, and then three, highest luxury perception. And for anybody that's been in the game, any kind of game almost, anywhere almost, perception is super important. It's a very powerful tool that can work to your advantage when you go to resell this home. Highest luxury perception. When buyers walk through, Prescott typically feels the most upscale without needing significant upgrades. So if you want to start to tap into that resale potential without shelling out a ton of cash on upgrades, Prescott's where you want to go. Best buyer, in my opinion, executive relocations, luxury-minded retirees, buyers coming from custom homes. So if previously you lived on 4 acres and you got a custom-built home, you're probably going to identify best with that Prescott series. Now, best value, Cambridge, hands down. It's the best value. It's lowest cost, it's core Pulte quality, it's most affordable ownership. Sutton is the best overall buy. Now, it's the best balance of price and upgrades, strongest resale appeal, fits the largest buyer pool. So it should be more liquid. You should sell it faster. And then finally, the Prescott, most luxury, highest in finishes, most upgraded feel, closest thing to a semi-custom home. Now, if I were advising you as your agent, and you do want to have a solid buyer's broker representing you in this transaction, especially since it doesn't cost you a dollar. The seller pays the fee for me. So pick up the phone and give me a call. Now, and I'm going to tell you a quick story before I tell you, if I were advising a buyer. I've been in those shoes. I've been in a new construction community. I was working with an agent that I thought was my friend, and she was not stopping me from buying a home in a flood zone. That kind of hurts, to be honest with you. I felt a little bit betrayed, if I'm honest. Me and my wife are looking at new construction homes. We're talking to an agent that I'd worked with and done all kinds of stuff with. And sure enough, it didn't seem to me like she was going to stop me from buying a home in a flood zone, which kind of hurts and goes to show you that that rep works for the seller, and it's her job to find somebody that will buy the lots in a flood zone. You just don't want to be that person, or to buy the lots that have drainage water and pooling water on them, or to buy the lots that are next to the entrance that are noisy and that won't have as good resale value, or to buy the lots where they've got upcoming construction instead of the more premium lots. It's easy to sell a premium lot, but those reps have to sell the non-premium lots too. That's how they get paid. You want a buyer's broker that's going to step in, that's going to talk sense to you, give you some feedback, hold you accountable, stop you from losing your mind and getting all emotional because you're getting a new construction home, which is very exciting for a lot of people, and it can be very rewarding. But the point is, you need a buyer's broker to keep you grounded and to keep you focused on resale and all the things that you don't necessarily go into the deal thinking about. Electrical boxes on your lots. I mean, there's so much that actually goes into it. So if I were advising a buyer, Cambridge, buy if payment matters most. Prescott, buy if luxury matters most. Sutton, buy if you're trying to maximize overall value, resell, and long-term satisfaction. Now, guys, I work with all kinds of clients all the time that need a solid buyer's broker, and they want somebody that is strategic. They want somebody that that is fighting for them, that is on their side. They want somebody that can help them navigate our market. What's a good place for them to live? Where can they get a good resale value? And how does solid lot strategy really work? They want somebody that will actually negotiate builder incentives on their behalf instead of just accepting what the on-site sales rep has to say. Yes, you can go in and do this whole process by yourself with an on-site sales rep. Will you get the best deal? Probably not. Will there be some parts of that transaction that bias are in and you end up losing on? Most likely. You need somebody that's got your best interest at heart. If you're starting this process, watch more of these videos for sure. Learn everything that you can learn about our market, but also pick up the phone. Share your story with me. I'd like to help you. No matter where you are in the process, if you're 1 month out or 1 year out. And guys, that's the thing. These phases are released every year to year and a half. So timing is a big thing. The construction process typically takes 5 or 6 months. So, there's lots of moving parts when you're an out-of-state buyer and you're looking in our market and you want to purchase new construction. You need to get with me so we can build a solid plan for you and your family, get through some of the pitfalls and the hurdles that other first-time new construction buyers are making, help you avoid that. 843-360-1737. Pick up the phone and give me a call. Timing the market matters just as much as picking the home. Understanding end of quarter and end of year builder pressure, knowing when to target inventory homes versus to be built opportunities, And recognizing early phase versus late phase pricing can dramatically change your outcome. I believe financing is where deals are truly won or lost. Interest rate differences, temporary versus permanent buy downs, choosing the right loan type like VA, FHA, or conventional, and knowing when to use lender credits versus builder lender incentives can impact your payment for more than the purchase price. I believe when all of these elements are aligned correctly, you're not just buying a home, you're engineering a deal that works for you on day one and positions you to win again at resale. If you're still early in the process, start by watching a few more of these community breakdowns. Then when you're ready, we'll build your strategy together. And if you want to make sure you're not overpaying, missing incentives, or choosing the wrong community, reach out. I'll help you compare the entire market and structure a deal that works for you and not the builder. Call me now at 843-360-1737 and let's map out your strategy the right way. I cannot wait to talk about top new construction builder incentives in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Now, let's jump right into it. D.R. Horton, we've got paid closing costs between $6,000 and $12,000. Always, it depends on the deal. It depends on the timing. Is the property built already? Is the property under construction? Those are some of the factors that you're going to see at play here between your interest rate and your closing costs. So a home that's already constructed, you're going to get a better deal on. They want to move that fast. A home that has to be built from the ground up, well, you're probably not going to get as good of a deal. Now, there's a range there. Paid closing costs, $6,000 to $12,000. Interest rate starts as low as 3.99%, going up to that plus or minus stands for the current market rate. Now, there are no other incentives that I'm aware of after interviewing and talking with D.R. Horton reps. Now, Pulte homes, $10,000 to $14,000 in paid closing costs, 3.99% interest to the going rate. Now, other incentives is between $20,000 and $40,000 off the ask price. I cannot wait to dig deeper and to unlock some insights for you here on these builder incentives. Now, Mungo Homes, you've got $3,500 to $5,000 in paid closing costs. Your interest rate starts at a 4.99 to the going market rate. They are higher on the interest rate than both D.R. Horton and Pulte. That's Mungo Homes. And then there were no other incentives with Mungo Homes. Now, finally, we've got Meritage Homes. We've got paid closing costs to the tune of $5,000. Your interest rate as low as 4.99% to the going market rate. And they do free appliances, which I thought was really, really cool. They take care of all your appliances to include your washer and dryer. Yeah, not bad. Now, let's dig in and go a little bit deeper. Number one, don't chase the rate alone. Look at the total incentive value. We got multiple builders offering as low as 3.99% interest rates. So rate is becoming less of a differentiator between the new construction builders. The real spread is in your closing cost, it's in your price reductions, and the other incentives or extras that you can pull off in your deal. The takeaway here is that a 3.99% interest rate is great, but if one builder is giving you $30,000 off the price, that often beats a slightly better long-term rate. Now, number two, Pulte is hands down the most aggressive equity play on the table. $10,000 to $14,000 in closing costs, $20,000 to $40,000 off the ask price. This is the only builder here creating instant equity at purchase. Now, what this means for you as a buyer is it's going to have the lower loan amounts. It's going to be better. You're going to have better refinance flexibility later, and there's going to be stronger resale positioning. Now, the investor angle here is this is the closest thing to a buying below the market that you're going to find in new construction. I like this play a lot, if I'm honest with you. Out of all of these builders, me personally, I think you're getting the best deal here. Plus, they seem to be a pretty, they're more of a custom builder, which, if you've seen the videos, if you haven't seen the videos, you need to watch the videos and learn the differences between the different builders in our market. I think Pulte is winning on the deal, though. Now, number three, D.R. Horton is the best cash to close play. So for those of you with less money in your account and you're going to be tight bringing cash to the table, you might want to go with the D.R. Horton home. $6,000 to $12,000 in closing cost is huge. Competitive at that 3.99% rate. You know, there's no flashy extras, but the takeaway is that it's a clean, simple, predictable deal. It's strong for buyers who want the lowest out-of-pocket, upfront expenses. They want stable financing, but they have no need for added value beyond just the basics. If you want to come out of pocket with the least amount of money, D.R. Horton's your builder. Now, Mungo and Meritage, this is the middle ground, but weaker financially. It's not going to be the best deal. It's low closing cost. It's got a higher rate at 4.99%, and there's no extras. In my opinion, this is the weakest overall financial package on the table. Now, could one of these homes be the best value for you? Absolutely. If you find a lot of value in the product line that Mungo or Meritage produces, even though the numbers don't work out well for you, it might still be the best value for you. And those are things that we have to dive in and work through, the personal use value versus the financial deal, and kind of find out where your priorities are. If it's more important for you to get a perceived value that you have in a Meritage or a Mungo home, then it still might be a win for you, even though it's not the best deal. If you're more financially minded and your goals are more financial, or perhaps you don't have as much money to come out of pocket, a variety of factors, but if your priorities are more on the financial side, then Mungo and Meritage probably are out of the game for you. Now, Meritage, we've got a flat $5,000 closing rate with a 4.99% interest rate. We've got free appliances. Now, the appliances feel good emotionally for sure, but financially, that's maybe $3,000 to $6,000 worth of value. You're effectively paying more monthly for a cosmetic perk. Let's call it what it is. Now, the hidden truth, builders are incentivizing differently based on strategy. Pulte, they're here to move inventory and discount that price. D.R. Horton keeps their pricing firm, but they support financing. And then Mungo and Meritage, minimal incentives. They rely on the product brand. The takeaway for buyers is you're not just choosing a house, you're choosing a builder's business strategy. You got to see it for what it is. Now, the smart buyer strategy, and this is where we really need to dig in. When you're comparing communities, your buyers should ask, what am I getting in exchange for the price I'm paying? And guys, I try to drive this home in my videos, which is why we compare different builders. It's why we look at resale value versus new construction. It's why we look at comparables. It's why we go in and say, all right, in this community, I'm getting a larger lot and better privacy, and I'm paying a little bit of premium compared to the rest of the market. But in this community, I'm not paying a premium. I don't have a larger lot. And then maybe as a buyer, you don't even care about a larger lot. Well, then it might be good for you to go with a lower tier new construction builder as opposed to a higher tier, because what you're paying for is worth it for you or not worth it for you. So you've got to always ask yourself, what am I getting in exchange for the price I'm paying? And so when you walk into a new construction community, you see that asking price, but we dig in deeper and look at things on a price per square foot basis and compare your home to the rest of the market so you can see where it sits and see if that premium is worth it. That's one of the things you've got to do. It's why you hire a solid buyer's broker to help you work through the nuts and bolts of not overpaying for what you actually value and want. Now, if one home is $10,000 more expensive, but another gives you $30,000 off up front, that's a $40,000 swing in your favor. Now, the bottom line is best upfront equity, Pulte. Best for lowest cash out of pocket, D.R. Horton. Best emotional perks, but weaker financially, Meritage. Weakest overall deal structure is going to be Mungo. Now, builder incentives can look similar on the surface, but when you break them down, the difference between these deals can easily be $20,000 to $40,000. That's why we don't just pick a house. We structure the best deal across the entire market. And it's why you hire a buyer's broker like me to run your numbers so that you can get the insights that you need to make a savvy decision when buying new construction in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Pick up the phone and give me a call. It's 843-360-1737.